Hello, my dear students. Now we are going to start with the part 5 of the metal casting process. In this part, we will see the pattern, how the pattern is made, and what are the materials used in the pattern. And second is allowances used in the metal casting process. So now let's start. Pattern. In casting, a pattern is a replica of the object to be cast, used to prepare the cavity into which the molten material will be poured during the casting process. Pattern used in the sand casting may be made of wood, metal, plastic, or other materials. So in this figure, we can see there is a pattern. Half pattern is used, and the sand is poured and rammed over this, and just to out, make this upside, and just pattern to be surface over the top, and then the cope box is placed over this, and once again the sand is poured into this and the ramming over the surface, so that there is no discontinuity in between the sand particles. Then gating bars are used, and some risers are also used, and then pattern is to be removed, and this mold cavity will be created, and this mold cavity will be filled from the pouring basin, and this liquid material will fill this mold cavity. After solidification, we will have this type of product. Okay, and this is not the part of the product, and this will be removed by using some machining process. Okay, so this is all over the use of pattern. So now we are going to see important points to be remembered. So the pattern and the part to be made are not same. They differ in the following aspects. A pattern is always made larger than the final part to be made. Why? Because we will see in the topic, which are known as allowances. The axis dimension is known as pattern allowances. The pattern allowance is greater than or equal to the shrinkage allowance, machining allowance, and some other allowances. So the first is the shrinkage allowances. Will take care of contraction of the casting, which occurs as the metal cools to room temperature. When the metal cools to room temperature, it will contract. It will contract means it will compress, or we can say its volume will decrease, means dimension will decrease. So that dimension, decreased dimension, is to be taken care of out by using shrinkage allowances. Means the pattern size must be greater than the actual product size. Why? Because that pattern will create a mold cavity, and that mold cavity will be greater. Why? Because after when the liquid metal will be poured into the mold cavity, it will be large, but after solidification, it is going to be shrink, or we can say it will be contract. So that should be taken care about. So for that, we are going to use pattern allowances. So for first is shrinkage allowance, because of the solidification, or we can say there are two types of the shrinkage allowances. First is the liquid shrinkage, and second is the solid shrinkage. Reduction in the volume when the metal changes from the liquid state to the solid state. So riser which feed the liquid metal to the casting is provided in the mold to compensate for this. Means when the liquid metal is shrinked, means its volume is decreased, that volume will be compensated by the volume of the liquid metal reached in the riser. Okay, then the solid shrinkage, the reduction in the volume caused when the metal loses temperature in solid state. The shrinkage allowance is provided on the pattern to take account of for this. Means shrinkage allowance is to be taken in the pattern. Means the pattern is to be made of the dimension more than the product size. Now we should know what is shrink rule. So what is rule is used to compensate solid shrinkage only. The liquid shrinkage will be taken care by riser, but solid shrinkage will be taken care by pattern size. is used to compensate solid shrinkage depending on the material contraction rate. It is different for different materials. So for example, we are taking the example of the cast iron. It will shrink about for just see what is 1 foot. 1 foot is the 12 inches on the 1 divided by 8 inch per foot shrink rule. For the cast iron means cast iron will shrink 1 by 8 inch per foot of the length after in the solid state. Means if the liquid metal is converted into the solid phase at that temperature to the room temperature, it will shrink. So how much it will shrink? For 1 feet of the length of the cast iron, it will shrink about 1 by 8 inch. So how the pattern will be made? The pattern will be made as a size of the actual dimension of the product plus this 1 by 8 inch per feet. If there is a 2 feet of the length of the product, then we use 2 multiply by 1 by 8 inch into the pattern size. Actually, measure 12 to 1 by 8. What is 12? 1 feet. For 1 feet, 1 by 8 inches required. Okay. So for 4 inch, it will be required 1 by 24. For 12, it is 1 by 8. So for 4, it is required 1 by 24 inch. Means if the length of the product is 4 inch, so pattern size will be 4 plus 1 by 24 inch for considering shrinkage allowances. Okay. The shrink rule for the different material is given. For the gray cast iron, for cast iron, it is given 1.125 for 1 feet. So 1 by 8 is 0.125. Means for 1 feet we require 0.125 inch more for the size of pattern, and so on for the different materials. Then the shrinkage allowances depends upon the coefficient of thermal expansion alpha of the material. So for the different material, it will be different. A simple relation indicates that the higher the value of alpha, more is the shrinkage allowance. So because we know that the change in length due to change in temperature will be alpha delta T L, alpha delta T multiply by L. So change in length will be higher for the higher value of alpha. For dimension L, shrinkage allowance is alpha L delta theta. You can see theta F minus theta 0. Here the theta F is the freezing temperature and theta 0 is the room temperature. Okay, the freezing temperature means when the liquid metal is converted into the solid metal, but it is that temperature is more than the room temperature. But from that temperature to reach at the room temperature during solidification, the length of the liquid metal will decrease. So for that, it is required to be give the allowance to the pattern. Okay, next is the machining allowance. It will take care for the extra material that will be removed to obtain a finished product. Means after casting, the product is not so finished up to the mark. So in that case, we need some surface finishing, surface removal process. So that is known as the machining allowances. So if we are not giving the machining allowances over the pattern, the size of the product will decrease after machining. So machining allowance is required to the pattern. Means the product will be the pattern will be the size of the pattern will be mm, more than the product, so that machining can be done after the product is casted out. Okay, the next the machining allowances are also given in this table for different material, cast iron, cast steel and non ferrous materials also. So it is also for per feet. The 0.12 inch is for per feet of the cast iron size. Next is the draft allowances. All the surfaces parallel to the direction in which the pattern will be removed are tapered slightly inward to the facilities facilitate the safe removal of the pattern. This is called the draft allowance. In figure shows the two pattern, one with the taper allowance. Taper allowance is also known as the draft allowance, and the other without it. It can be visualized that it is easy to draw the pattern having taper allowance out of the mold without damaging mold walls or edges. We can see this is given the draft allowance to the pattern. Why? Because for the easy removal from this mold to create the mold cavity. So but the product will be formed in the same shape with the mold cavity, but after some machining process this part will be removed and we will get the rest of the part product from this will be the product. Okay, so this is required for the easy removal of the pattern from the mold to create the mold cavity without any damage. If we can see if without draft allowance will be provided in this, so it is very difficult to remove of this pattern, so the damage can be appeared. So this space cannot be filled by the mold sand very easily, so that damage will be shown into the product after casting. So draft is also given in the form of angle, or we can say the length of the draft. Means if we required a product like this but the pattern is to be made like this for the easy removal of the pattern from the mold, so this angle can be known as the draft angle, which will be provided to the pattern. So this can be uh, correlated like this: theta equals to perpendicular upon base. Because theta is very less, so tan theta can be written as theta, then theta equals to this height divided by this length, perpendicular upon base, so this h upon l. Okay, this is height and this is length. Okay, so in that case height of the given surface in inch is 1 and the draft angle will be 3, and the for internal surface, and this is the for external surfaces. And we can in the form of height we can see this is 1, in the form of angle it is the value 3, and these angles are in radian. Internal surfaces, holes, pockets are used for the different draft allowances. So in the next lecture we'll see the pattern material and molding sand properties, and this will be the last part of the metal casting process. So stay tuned and thank you for listening my lecture.